Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Alright, so in our last class we looked at trigonometric ratios, and today we'll be looking at special angles in trigonometric ratios. So we have calculate the value of x in the diagrams below without using calculator. So we have to solve the value of x. Okay, we are looking for y here. That's the values of x and y. Okay, we can make this x2 since we are asked to find value of x. So in the diagrams below without the use of calculator. So it means that we are not going to press calculator and we're going to get our answer, and that is leaving our answer in short form. Yes. So the first one is we have 48 meter and here is 30 degree. Now don't forget your SOHCAHTOA, but before we can bring our SOHCAHTOA into this, there are some special angles we need to know. Probably let me do it here. So we have, this is 30 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, 60 degree, then you have 45, then root 3. Now sum of angle in the triangle is 180, so this is 60, 60, 60, 180 degree, and so we have our 1, 1, then 2, 2 here. This is fixed for this one. Therefore, for 45 degree, so we have 1, 1, and then root 2 in the hypotenuse. So this is the hypotenuse for this one is 2, while the adjacent is 1, 1. Then the hypotenuse for this one is root 2, while the adjacent is also 1, 1. Now look up. Now we have a question like this. We are asked to find the opposite of sine 30. So it means that we need to introduce our special angles. Now looking at this, to get, let's say we have our sine theta equals, so let's say we are looking for sine 60 now, for example. Okay, since it's 30, okay, let's get for 30. Sine 30 is equals to, now sine is what? Opposite. Remember your SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite. So the opposite of 30 is 1. You can see it. Opposite of 30 is 1. So that will be 1 over hypotenuse h. That is what? The one facing the right angle triangle is what? Is 2. So sine 30 is half. 1 over 2. If you press the calculator, you get 1 over 2. Now, if you are to get cos 30 is still the same thing like this, adjacent of hypotenuse. So the adjacent of 30 is the one lying on the angle 30, which is what? Root 3 over hypotenuse is also 2. Then tan 30 is equals to opposite over adjacent. So the opposite of 30 is 1, and the adjacent is root 3. So that's how we got our special angles. Let me recap. For sine 30 is so opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is 1, hypotenuse is 2. For cos, adjacent over hypotenuse, this is adjacent, root 3 over 2. Then the third one, opposite, that's 2. Opposite 1 over what? Adjacent, which is root 3. That's how you're going to do for all the other angles too, like 60, and also for 45. For 45 too, we have opposite here to be 1 over adjacent 1. That's for tan. So tan 45 is 1 over 1, which is 1. If you press it, you're going to get it like that. Opposite of 45 is 1, adjacent of 45 is 1. So this is how we get our 30, 60, and 45 degree special angles in using the sine, cos, and tan. Now let's get this. So we are being given the hypotenuse in this triangle, and we have to find the opposite. So which of the formulas are we going to use? Now we are going to use the one that we are being given. The one that we are being asked to find is x. We are now going to use the one that also has a value. So if you have to look at it, either we use opposite over hypotenuse, or we use opposite over adjacent. I'm just telling us the three ones we can use, or we use adjacent over hypotenuse. But in this case, we cannot use adjacent because there's nothing given here. Now, can we use opposite? Opposite over, can we use tan? Opposite over adjacent? No, we cannot use opposite over adjacent because there's nothing here. But we can use sine. Opposite over hypotenuse. So we can use sine to solve for this. Any other one cannot do it because we do not have anything here. So we have sine 30 degree equals, now opposite is x over hypotenuse is what? 48 meter. Now don't forget, we have already gotten sine 30 to be what? To be 1 over 2 here. So 1 over 2. Don't forget, we are not using calculator. So I've gotten how we can get it without using calculator. If you press calculator, it will be 0.5. And once you use calculator, it will give you decimal. But we want to leave our answer. So if we are not using calculator, our answer will not show, it will not be in decimal. Rather, it will be in solid form. So that shows that you have not used calculator. So equals x over 48 meter. So we can cross multiply here. You have x times 2, which is 2x equals 48 times 1 is what? 48. So divide both sides by 2. So x equals 24 meter. So we have this place as what? 24 meter. So that's how we got this side here. Now with this side, you can now find this side if you're asked to find it. Now the second one is, now we can look at this. If you look at this very well, you will see that in this place, our right angle triangle is our hypotenuse is 10 centimeter. Now people normally say the hypotenuse is the longest side. Sometimes it's not always true, because in this case you will see that our hypotenuse is the one facing the right angle triangle, the one facing the right angle triangle. But if you say it is the longest side, you might be forced to go and pick this, which will not be correct. So it is the one facing the right angle triangle. If you use this as your hypotenuse, you will miss the answer in this question. So we have here to be the opposite. So opposite of 30 is this. So x is the opposite here, while 10 is the hypotenuse. Then this is the empty side that we don't know. Now we are asked to find this x. So which of the formula are we going to use? Don't forget, I said the one that we are looking for must be present, and another value being given must be present. So you cannot use the one that does not have this, which is the adjacent. So don't forget, this is opposite, this is hypotenuse, and this is adjacent. So we cannot use any of the formula that has adjacent in it. So out of so can 12, we cannot use this, we cannot use this, because they both have adjacent in them, and we have adjacent here. So we can use sine, because that's opposite over hypotenuse. So we are still going to use sine in this. So sine 30 degree equals, now opposite of 30 is what? X over hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is what? Is 10. You can see now that instead of you taking this one as hypotenuse, which will make you miss the answer, this is the hypotenuse, the one facing the right angle triangle, over 1. So now, okay, I hope you know that sine 30 is 1 over 2 from here. Had it been it is cos 30 or tan 30, we'll still pick it from here. But since it's sine 30, that will be 1 over 2 equals x over 10. So our answer will be, cross multiply, that will be 2x equals 10 centimeter. Divide both sides by 2. So x equals 5 centimeter. So it means that we have this place to be 5 centimeter, and then this is what? 24 meter. That is how to solve special angles. Now if you are being given 45 degree in any of these places too, that means you are going to apply this, which for this one now, sine 45 degree is opposite, that will be 1 over hypotenuse, which is what? Root 2. Then if you are asked to find cos 45 will be adjacent, that will be 1 over hypotenuse, which is what? Root 2. And if it is tan 45 degree will be opposite of adjacent, which is 1 over 1, which is 1. If you press your calculator with this 1 over root 2, you will still get the same thing. If you press, like if you divide 1 over root 2, the answer that you get, if you press sine 45, you are still going to get the same answer. So this is how to solve special angles when you are asked not to use calculator, because your answer must be left in short form. That is if it is not in decimal. But with this now, these two I just solved are not in decimal, so that's why we are not getting our answers in short form. But if you have been given the ones that have root 3 over 2, for example, you know, your answer will be left in short form when you begin to times, and then that will give you decimal if you use your calculator. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you have not subscribed. God bless you all in Jesus' name.